On your whiteboard, please tell me what is it when you have two positive things and you have to make a choice between the two? What is it called when you have two positive things and you need to make a choice between the two? Come on, come on, come on. Let's go. What is it, Valeria? Approach. On your whiteboard, please tell me, what is it called when people, how people think about a stressor determines how much effect that stressor will have. When you look at something, you think about how much is it going to affect me, then you go ahead and address it. You do a first stage of what is it, then you turn around, no, that's not a thing. Second appraisal is you go ahead and tackle it one by one. There you go. What is it? I got one. I have asked this question every single day. What is it, Mickey? Cognitive appraisal approach. If you're a primary appraisal, that's a part of cognitive appraisal approach, not cognitive appraisal. On your whiteboard, please tell me what is it called if I yell at you and you get pissed and when you leave my room you kick a trash can? Good. Come on. Sophia. Displaced aggression. On your whiteboard, please tell me what part of your body responds to the stressful event? What part of your nervous system responds to that stressful event? Did you watch my videos, Mia? What is it? James. There you go. On your whiteboard, please tell me what has an effect on your immune system that affects how your body responds. What can have an effect on your immune system that has it? What is it? Annie? Stress. What is the study of how stress affects your immune system called? Good. Matt, what is it? Sounds good. On your whiteboard, please tell me what, never mind, we're going to go. All right, here we go. What?
Is it so your parasympathetic calms you down?
No, your parasympathetic calms you down, your sympathetic rises. It's the opposite of what you think. When you think sympathetic, I think calm, somber, like, oh my God, I feel so sorry for you. It's actually in reverse. Sympathetic excites you, parasympathetic calms. All right, so here we go. So your stress and personality. You're either going to be a pessimist or an optimist. Optimists are people who see the light side of things. At the end of the day, everything's going to probably work out for you. That is optimist. I'm an optimist. At the end of the day, I really do believe that everything in my life will work out. Okay? Some things do go bad, but in a long enough run, everything's going to be okay. Pessimists are people who believe that everything is going to go poorly, very few things go right. If you are a pessimist, who here is a pessimist? Okay? If you're a pessimist, it causes more stress on the body, and you're actually going to live a shorter life. Just because of how much stress it has on your body. Okay? Also, there's a movement called positive psychology, which is by Seligman, the guy who does learned helplessness, and the depressed dogs. He does positive psychology. Okay, so society has an impact on your stress. Every single one of us has experienced something. We've had a thing called burnout before. Burnout is a negative change in thought, emotions, behavior as a result of prolonged stress or frustration. People who are in a situation for a very long period of time who don't see an escape are going to feel burned out. Can we agree? That's why when you have people who've been living in really tough situations, they just don't even care. A lot of your very, very poor people have burnout. They don't even try. Your homeless people are a perfect example of burnout. Are they fighting every day trying to get a job, or do they feel like they're just never going to get one? They're never going to get one, so why bother? Hence why a lot of homeless people don't really put in for that many jobs. The longer you've been homeless, the less likely you try, and it's burnout because of the frustration, the emotions. Living outside on the streets is very tough, so they just say, you know what, screw it, who cares? All right, acculturative is a different type of stressor. It's all about the need to change or adapt a person's way into society or the majority culture. We do it in 4 different ways. This is if someone is from an outside culture coming in. They integrate, they pick one part of society and they use it. I think it's not your focus, isn't it? 4 different ways.
Nope, that's about
No,
the way
stress.
that you're stressed.
Oh, okay. You have assimilation, which means you blend in. You have separation, where you have one culture at home and then you live in a different culture. Do you know anyone has that? That at home they're like super, like for instance, up in Massachusetts, there's a ton of Portuguese people. A ton of Portuguese in Massachusetts, which is great because the food's incredible. My brother's best friend, Bruno, he, outside of his house, he wouldn't really even know he was Portuguese. Like, he loved baseball, loved playing soccer. That's about as Portuguese as he gets outside of his house. But if you ever met his family and went into his house, they have Portuguese flags all over the place. They are diehard soccer fans. All they eat, they don't eat, like, pizza at all. They don't eat chicken wings at all. Like, they are 100% Portuguese diet. They eat fish, like, pretty much every night. Super, super hardcore Portuguese at home. But as soon as he leaves the house, he essentially left all of that behind and just tried to be like your typical average American. That's what we mean by separation. And then marginalism is you kind of feel like you're not a part of either society. If anyone leaves one country and moves to a different country, they typically feel like they don't belong in either. Like, you're not really an American because you come from somewhere else, but if you go back to where you belong, or you came from, you're not really that because you left. I mean, I can't really put any anecdotes out there. I mean, I'm from Boston. If I move back to Boston, that would be kind of weird because I'm not from Boston anymore, you know? I don't know. I moved down when I was a junior, so it's kind of weird, but social stress system, stuff like that. All right, coping. Here we go. This is where you have a lot on tomorrow. So coping is actions that people can take to master, tolerate, reduce, or minimize the effect of stressors. Every single person deals with stress differently. Some of you thrive, some of you burn on stress. It sounds like Smith is burning today. Are you okay today? Yeah, you just seem like amped today. Do you need something? You okay? You're making me really nervous right now. Are you okay? I don't know, you're just really intense today. You doing okay? It's a nice sweater. You look very nice and pink.
Thank you.
All right, so coping. So problem-focused coping. This is how I deal with problems. If I'm stressed out about something, I would rather I spend all my time trying to figure it out so I can move on with my life. For instance, this summer, we have a lot of travel plans. And so we have to figure out what we're going to do with Toby. So I've already made a couple of reservations at these little puppy places that we're going to try them out for a couple days here and there in preparation for when we go to Virginia, when we go here, because I'm stressed about our little Toby. I don't want him to be sad, I don't want him to be happy. So that's been stressing me out. My birthday is coming. So my husband has been really focused on trying to eliminate some of the stress that came up last year because he didn't plan a damn thing, didn't buy anything, didn't do anything. Literally, I woke up my birthday morning, it was a Saturday morning, and he's like, so what are we doing today? And I was like, oh, I don't know, what did you plan? And he's like, oh, well, I guess we could go to the mall and pick out your birthday gift. Like, okay. And I was like, so where are we going to dinner tonight? And he's like, oh, I thought you'd want to pick. The day of my birthday is not the day I want to pick. If you ask me ahead of time, I will plan, I will pick it. But he asked me that day. That day, Macy! That day! Now, the good thing is that he does put his money where his planning should be. So I did actually get a pretty good birthday out of it, but I cried for a good 2 hours. I cry every year on my birthday. Every year. There's something terrible goes wrong on every birthday. Every single one. I didn't have my first birthday party until I was 13. Because every time my parents planned a birthday party, there would always be a blizzard. And then it only snowed like 4 inches that day. And my mom said, we're not canceling this. So I think I had like 8 of like the 20 kids show up. They did. And I think my dad even went to go pick them up because their parents didn't want to drive. It was so sad. Because my mom, like, used to buy, like, cakes and stuff for the birthday party, and it would always be canceled because it would always be a blizzard.
At least you get that whole cake.
Yeah, but when you are a little kid and you are supposed to have a birthday party and then it gets canceled because of Mother Nature, you're not really that understanding. And I had a really terrible outfit, too. I remember that photo. It's, like, my only, like, birthday, like, party I ever had. So, emotion. So problem focus is if AP Psych is stressing you out, you just sit down and you just do your AP Psych for the week. Does that make sense? Emotion focused coping is changing the way you react to the stressor. And the easiest way we do this is say, I don't care. Correct? How many times have you said that in a day? Like, well, there's some days I say them way more than others. So, like, I don't know about you. I'm not good at personal conflict. Like, I'm not. Like, I am not an empathetic person. Like, I try to care about my kids. I try to care. Like, I know Smith's a little off today, and I just hope everything's okay. I care, but I'm not, like, good at, like, oh, my God. Like, I'm not going to coddle you because I can't. Like, emotionally, I don't know what to do besides ask. So I did my part. I'm really sorry. This is my emotional limit. So when people are, like, super stressed or upset with me, I don't know how to deal with it. So I say, okay, and I'm no longer upset about it. Like, I just can't. How many times have someone been stressing you out and you're just like, I just don't care anymore, and you just walk away, and you literally just stop thinking about it? How often does that happen? There you go. That's emotional coping. If you sit there and something is stressing you out, like, have you ever had a friend that's, like, mad at you and you can't figure out why, and you just force them to sit down and tell you why in the most painful way? You have to figure out why they're not speaking to you. That's problem-based. If you're just like, oh my God, Smith's mad at me, I don't even care, and, like, Smith's dead to you for the rest of your life, that's emotional focused. Alright, so we all use defense mechanisms in order to make our life a little bit easier. You should know these for tomorrow. I'm just letting you know. So, when you have these, they're unconscious distortions of a person's perception of reality that reduce stress and anxiety. First things first is denial. Okay? Denial is a psychological defense in which a person refuses to acknowledge or recognize or a threatening situation. Straight up just say no. Or, I mean, the problem is in my head right now, I can only think about what is happening in Washington. Have you been following Trump?
No.
I don't know how you can't. If you don't like politics, this isn't politics. Like, this is a whole.
Everything but politics.
It is literally every.
Exactly.
Well, no, he signed a lot of things, whether you agree with him or not. He's doing something.
No, but they're
It's
like,
not
it's
not politics.
exactly all the things that he's doing are like I would.
Have you seen the crane?
Arresting the journalists.
Have you seen the crane?
No.
Oh, so there is Greenpeace has lost its mind. Greenpeace took over a crane that, if you look behind the White House, they hung a sign that says "Rebel." No, it says "Resist."
Is that because the EPA thing?
Yeah.
Because he arrested those journalists?
Yeah.
I wouldn't call that politics. I would call saying that the EPA can't talk to anybody that aren't like.
I do appreciate the National Service, though, the National Park Service. So there was a gag order released. There's some disparity of saying who said it, who did it, and what authority they were going on. But apparently, someone in the Trump administration told the EPA and a couple other subsidiaries that they're not allowed to report climate information at all. They're not allowed to post anything on their social media or anything like that. They're not allowed to, like, post facts or anything like that. And they also cut off funding. They cut off funding to PBS.
They cut off funding to the libraries, and they cut off funding to our museums.
And it's 0.0012% of the federal budget. They cut it. So I checked on PBS this morning to see if it was still, like, on. It is still on. They think it's going to cut off within the next month. So that means no more Clifford the dog.
I don't know what's going to happen to our
Sesame
museums.
Street?
They're cutting off the museum budget.
No, but HBO saved Sesame Street.
Yeah.
HBO has saved Sesame Street. And they've already said they're going to release all their Sesame stuff. They're going to open up a channel that could be free for anyone so they can watch Sesame Street, and they're thinking about buying a bunch of the rights to Clifford and a bunch of the other stuff, so they could do it and stuff like that. So anyway, last night the national parks, the Badlands National Parks, did you see them? Bad boys of the national parks. They started posting all this stuff in rebellion about just like facts about the climate and stuff like that. That got shut down.
Do you see that scientists are having they're having a science march on Washington? Like scientists are like all going down to Washington to be like climate change.
Scientists march.
So anyway, so denial. I can't help but think that that wasn't where I was going with the EPA and all that stuff. The fact that there is no proof there's voter fraud, and Trump is denying that there wasn't voter fraud, and he's even said he's going to spearhead a investigation into it. And both houses are actually in agreement right now. They're like, okay, here we go, because both the House and both Republicans and Democrats are not thrilled by these statements. Whether you're for Trump or not, it's not a good thing for our democracy. Next one is repression. A psychological defense mechanism in which a person refuses to consciously remember a threatening or unacceptable event instead of pushing those events into the unconscious mind. Have you ever seen SVU? Yeah, Special Victims Unit. Oh my God, it's a classic. Stabler. He is such a spot in my heart.
They took him off.
Well, he quit after like 15 years of doing it. I know, he was my favorite too, but he's always on USA. So you can always get your Stabler fix there. On SVU, they've had a couple really great episodes where people have repressed memories of like rape and stuff. And one of the episodes was one where a psychologist was making up stories of rape and like putting it in their repressed mind and stuff like that. So that was kind of cool. You've seen it?
Plot twist.
That was a plot twist. Usually you know when there's
The plot twist.
I love it when you know if they solve who it is in the first like 20 minutes, it's gonna be wrong. Don't get excited.
Exactly.
You got it all done?
I was thinking about that. It takes so much longer in second period. I don't know if it's just because like they have so many people in their second period or what, but it took so long.
Oh my God, this is so exciting. Thank you so much. You literally saved the day because I literally just remembered it right as you were walking in. So thank you. So repression is, for instance, one of the things that honestly truly terrifies me, and what would be the worst thing that could happen to me is being raped. I don't know what would happen. If I was raped, I don't know how I would continue. You know what I mean? It's one of those things that really is like jarring and horrifying to me. If I got raped and I survived, I would have to repress that memory, which would mean I try to forget it and lock it away in some part of my brain and just pretend it doesn't exist. Is it the healthiest way to deal with it? No. However, is it an effective way to move beyond it? Exactly, and that's what repression is. People who have bad experiences, like if you have a bad boyfriend, girlfriend, who physically, mentally, emotionally, and you keep going back to them, there's repression. You have completely suppressed something and to think it's okay. Does that make sense? If you're getting hit, verbally abused, whatever the case is, and you're like, oh, he's not that bad. Oh, she's not that bad. You're repressing and you have denial issues. Does that make sense? Okay, that's what those do. All right, rationalization is when a person invents acceptable excuses for unacceptable behavior. So, for instance, if your boyfriend, girlfriend hits you, physically abuses you, whatever, and you say, well, it's not his fault. His dad never showed him how to love. Okay, it's not his fault. His mom used to hit him when he was a kid, so this is the only way he knows, or she knows. It's not right that he was hit or she was hit. It doesn't make it right for them to hit, to abuse, or anything like that. Rationalization is just a justification for bad behavior. On social media right now, everyone is saying crap about everyone else. Can we agree? If you don't, and I read a lot of stuff on social media, And I don't agree with 90% of what I'm reading sometimes. Have you felt like that?
Yeah.
That there is just, you're living in a sea of morons and you are the only light of intelligence. Have you felt like that reading
Yeah.
social media? Whether you're pro-Trump, anti-Trump, it doesn't matter because you're going to be surrounded by both opinions. If you are standing there and you are reading it and a lot of the comments on like everywhere, you just see people trying to rationalize their behavior. Well, so one of the things a good example would be is you've obviously heard about Barron Trump on Inauguration Day, correct? People are making fun of him. And then you have people rationalizing their comments on Barron Trump. Whether you like Trump or not, can we agree that picking on his 10-year-old kid is horrific?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, the answer to that is yes, people. There's no okay here. Huh? I don't really know.
He was
like falling
He was
asleep
gonna
or
be the
whatever.
first homeschool shooter or something like that.
Yeah, that's how the SNL chick got in trouble. And then everyone else was saying, well,
You ever say
Rosie O'Donnell diagnosed him with Down syndrome
Or autism.
or autism or something. I mean, everyone was like,
And then everybody was like judging, like, why does he look like he's about to fall asleep during?
because he's a
Like,
10-year-old
he's
kid. Why the hell does he
the
care?
Election day, and they're like, it was 1:00 in the morning.
No, I think it was 2 when he took the stage. Like, it was insane with all this chaos. Anyway, rationalization is justifying your... I can pick on Barron Trump because I hate his father. And his father has said terrible things about so many people. I am just... No. That's a rationalization. Leave the kid alone. He already has a really tough life. Can we agree?
Oh.
Being a public figure like that is awful. That is awful. Yes, he's incredibly rich. But, I mean, do you think everything in that household is peachy keen?
Yeah, but if it's not, they can just go fly out to an island.
Yes, having plenty of money doesn't solve all your problems.
Solves a lot of it. It's
He
social.
can.
It does
He's
solve.
his parents.
He's
Yeah,
still...
Even if he wants to escape personally, he can't. He's 10.
I mean, think of how hard that kid's life has to be at school.
Oh yeah, I heard he has no friends. Like the people at his really rich school in like New York or whatever. Like the parents don't like Trump won't let their kids like hang out with him, and the parents
He's
that
10
do
years
like,
old is not
yeah,
cops.
and the parents that do like Trump like want their kids to hang out with him only so that the parents.
And think
can-
about all the things he hears that are terrible about his dad, that his mom, Melania. I mean, how many of those memes have you seen save Melania? They're really funny.
she's a grown woman, like that's like
I know, it's a little bit different, which is why I'm not saying don't make fun of Melania but like, I mean, that's a really tough situation to be in. And Donald Trump has never been a quiet public figure. So, I mean, I think it's been really hard for him. And all of this other stuff, like, I mean, that's hard. That's hard. And to have 1 million women take to the streets on Saturday to say they hate you, I mean, that's an ego. No, stop. But, I mean, that's a big deal. I think life is very hard for him. You're right, because you're the one saying they can fly off to not a mountain. You want an island. All right, your next one is projection. When you put it on someone else who is easier to affect. All right, brother, sister, stuff like that. All right. Reaction formation. How you keep your real feelings hidden. There's a couple people I have in my life that will be like the nicest person to your face, and then they're totally horrific people behind closed doors. Do you have anyone like that? My nemesis is that. Oh my God, hi Sam. Oh my God, it's so nice to see you. Oh, you look so nice. Oh my God, did you see Sam? She's disgusting. Oh my God, did you see her clothes? Like, come on, can she not buy
Is this
something?
one of your lies again?
No, this is Mo. Mo's right. Mo's true. True, not true.
True.
Mo is real. She's awful. She's awful.
How do you know?
McCrae's best friend's wife.
Tell them the wedding story.
No.
Did you say you like cooked for them one time and you were like complaining about it the day of?
I complain every time I see them. I love Jacob, but I hate Mo. Ugh, she's awful. Displacement is redirecting feelings from a threatening target to a less threatening one. This is like if you kick the dog when you're mad.
I wouldn't do that.
No.
I wouldn't do it either. However, I will say I do hit him by accident when I walk. My man just walks in front.
How big is he now? Pretty
He's
big?
52. He had diarrhea for a very long time.
I've got a
So.
chihuahua, and he'll like try and weave between your legs because he thinks he's like being cute, and then he accidentally gets kicked across the room because he just purposely walks in front of you. He's so dumb.
And regression. Regression is my favorite. Do you guys watch my my weird obsession? What is it show? My Strange Addiction. Do you watch it?
Yes.
One of my favorite episodes, and I don't watch it that much, but every time I turn it on, like I see it and there's nothing on, it's always the same one, and I always go. It's adults dressed like babies, put on diapers, and pee and poop in their diaper, and then they pay someone to clean them up.
That's not even the worst episode.
That's the only one I need.
What?
The worst episode was with the coffee episode.
Yeah, they come home.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, they go to work.
For the guys in
That
that
was
No.
That was
first,
her.
and then they come home and pretend to be babies, and like they have
Wait,
big
that's
grown
like
up
that,
crib.
Oh yeah, that was gross. She like carried around a little baggie.
She was like rationing.
That was gross. That was gross. That was gross.
What?
Like let me just eat my husband.
Oh yeah, she eats
After he was dead.
She like rationed it. She was like only one finger dip a day.
Oh my gosh.
I was like,
There's one lady who also like drinks pine salt, or no, she just sniffs it.
Drinks.
And then there's one lady I saw who like in like soil that you can buy at like the store and little white like
I saw that.
They got white specs. She'll like go out to the garden.
There's one lady that eats soap, isn't there?
Yeah.
There's one lady who eats mattress.
There's one
Yeah,
lady.
There's one lady who use her urine as like perfume.
No.
Perfume.
Oh, that was
She's
one
like-
lady addicted to the color green. It's so cute though.
Oh, she's adorable.
She
I love
like use
her.
her urine.
There was one lady who's like addicted to
Yeah, like that big like.
You should watch it.
She who like drinks nail polish, and then in the same episode, there's another lady who like
They just send like a, I think
and
it's
like she went to the movie
Yeah,
theater
like-
and like took the toilet out of the bathroom and the person ate it while watching a movie.
Oh, that makes me
There's
crazy.
girls who eat plastic bags too. That one was
The weird, the eating stuff the thing that I saw one where they were addicted to like enemas, like they had to have like an enema every day, and then they got there. It was so.
Or there's
I
one
was
lady
like,
that was obsessed
oh,
with
it was horrifying. Like I literally, it was just the worst
They had, like,
episode of my school
millions
I've
of
ever
boxes
seen.
The one where she
It was
drinks
so
paint.
gross.
Yeah, that was gross.
Oh, the defense mechanism.
That was funny too, where like this lady like just gets boyfriend some like carnival rides.
There's one lady who's like addicted to I thought it was
People
kind of
are
like
weird.
a little weird kind of cute. He was like, but like he would go and like pick up roadkill and like have a funeral for it. Which
That's
like,
nice.
That's like nice.
That's
And then
nice.
He was like on my strange list. He had
Alright, here we go. Identification is when a person tries to be like someone else to deal with anxiety. These are, so I have no idea where they are at this point, but there was a woman who was trying to keep up with Britney Spears. Like, she made money impersonating Britney Spears, and she would cut her hair just like Britney Spears. And this is when, like, before 2007.
Oh.
This is, like, when Britney was, like, Britney, not, like, post 2007. Dark times for Britney. But, and she used to spend thousands of dollars trying to keep up with the same outfits, trying to keep up with the same hairstyles, all those different types of things in order to keep up looking just like her. You have people who just pick up other people's lives and just pretend to be someone else. That they decide they don't want to be Mia anymore, so Mia spends all of her free time, I don't know if you know this, but she tries being just like me. She wears scarves and cardigans, she puts on her glasses, she twists her hair back just like me, the whole thing. And she walks around.
20 pairs of Toms.
But doesn't everyone have essentially the same wardrobe, or am I just really strange?
I don't
Everybody
know.
has like the
But-
same colors. It's like black, white, jeans.
You have like a character.
But doesn't everyone kind of look the same every day? Or am I really the only one that looks really the same every day?
No.
Yeah.
Well, you just have to style.
No.
So do I.
I look the same every day.
No, you don't.
I would
Nike
never.
shorts
I would
sometimes.
never wear a pink sweater like this.
Looks nice. Nice on your complexion. Yeah, no. I didn't want to come to school today. I woke up with a migraine. So black it was.
Wait, does your vision wild?
Yeah.
Like,
Which is why I
can
keep-
all in years on
Yeah,
six.
which is why I keep taking out my glasses, which weirded out my AP World classes. Here we go. So compensation. It's a defense mechanism when a person makes up for being inferior but becoming superior in one area. There are some people, like for instance, I have a girl. She is a sophomore here. She came from Central American country. It's not, I can't remember exactly what country she comes from. She's from a different, she's from a Central American country. And she came here, and she's just learned English within the last, 2 years. She's also in AP World, by the way. She's doing very well. She's like, oh my god, if you made me be in AP World as a student now and make me learn it in Spanish, I couldn't do it. Just couldn't do it. Even though I know the content, not a shot in hell could I figure it out. But anyway, she's only been here 2 years. She learned a little English where she was from. Obviously, she's completely immersed in English now. And she knows that she is the weakest one in our class. She is. I mean, she just learned the language 2 years ago, for God's sake. And she also knows she's not as good as socializing with other people, just being able to carry conversations and stuff. She's really focused on more the academics and the social side. So how she's made friends and how she finds any sense of oh my god, I'm really good at something is volleyball. Apparently she's a phenomenal volleyball player. And she feels socially inadequate every other moment of her life except for when she's on the volleyball court. And she said, in volleyball, you don't need language. She hears the calls and stuff like that, but it's basic calls that she can retain anytime. And that's where she thrives. So she spends all of her time, and that's her one true pursuit. Yes, she wants to learn English and stuff like that, but her goal is to get to a university to play volleyball. And she spends all of her time doing that. When she's not at practice, she's doing laps or practicing. She's on 2 teams in order to get better for it. And then she has a private coach on top of it. And, that's her one sole focus. And she's it's the only thing that makes me feel like I'm really good at something. I mean, she's a smart kid. I mean, I couldn't imagine learning a language 2 years ago and then taking AP World and other AP classes with it. She's struggling, but she's doing it. But, I mean, and that's the only thing that she really feels that makes her feel good is being on the volleyball, being able to doing all that stuff. That's compensation. All right. And then, goodbye. By the way, meditation is nice. By the way, you should exercise, do social activities, eat healthy foods, sleep, and manage your time in order to have less stress. See ya.